What's going on, guys?
Chris, those first two drives to collectively is clicked. It's almost like as on the same page as an entire offense can be. Why do you think you guys were so successful out of the gate?
I think that was an emphasis for us coming out because we just did not do a great job of that the previous game, and it kind of like I think the beginning of the game often can set the tone for the rest of the game. So that being like an emphasis for us coming out with a faster start was crucial, especially against a team like with the talent that they have, with the defensive line that they have. Like they present a lot of challenges for offenses. So it was big for us to get off to a hot start. And I think that like once we kind of got going, Bake was dialed in, we got a bunch of guys involved. So then that just makes it challenging on the defense like as a whole.
The first two series, like spreading the ball around, like 3 receivers, both running backs and your tight end touched the ball in the first 2 possessions.
Yeah.
Like, are you at your best when that's happening?
Honestly, I think so. I think it really makes it like difficult for the defense. It's one thing when one guy is going off because it's like, all right, like you feed the hot hand, right? But like if we're able to spread the ball around that much, everybody gets involved. Like then everyone's more involved in the run game. But also you can just be so like diverse with the play calls. You mix in like your quick game, your deep passing game, play action, screens, and then like as the game progresses, you have so much more at your disposal than just like the handful of plays that were working early on. So when a team makes adjustments, it's like now you have answers for it.
About a quarter of the way through the season here, and you've been in this role of yours and Liam Coen's offense.
Yeah.
Teams where you want, and you've been quite successful there.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about that? About a quarter way in and where you are.
I feel pretty good about it so far. I think that, obviously I've been able to make some, a good amount of plays, to this point, but I still think that there's a lot left, out there to be made. I know there's some plays that I definitely want back. And I think that as we continue to go with the season, I'm sure Liam's play calling will continue to improve as he learns. I think as I get more and more comfortable in the scheme, I think that will improve. And I think just as an offense, we'll continue to get better just as we put in the work, as we find the things that we really, really like, as we make better adjustments in game. And like I said, we've made mistakes so far, but those are the things that we'll be able to lean on, as the season progresses. So, all right, well, let's not make that same mistake, in week 10,
What do you see so far as the key to the success of this team 3-1? What's been able to make that happen?
I think our physicality is going to have to be something that we have to lean on, offensively and just as a team. I think that we have to go out and we have to bring the fight to whoever our opponent is, and play on their side of the line. It's it sets the tone for the running game, which obviously, and offensively opens up play action, opens up everything else. I think when your receivers get involved in the run game, it helps a lot. And then defensively, if you're able to stop their run game, then you limit what they're able to do. So I think our physicality is going to have to be something that we're really good at and have to continue to be to excel in.
There has been a lot of changes. What do you see when you look at Atlanta now this year coming up quickly?
So I think the first thing that kind of stands out is the talent that they have. They've made some a couple acquisitions over the offseason. Obviously coaching change. But I think that they have a lot of talented guys over there that not only have experience but are playing at a really high level. So that's definitely going to present a challenge for us. But I also think that they feel like they've positioned themselves to be able to make a deep playoff run, and so that's a team that's definitely confident. And I think the NFC South as a whole I think has really gotten a lot better and more competitive. So. I think it's gonna present a real challenge for us just as offense to be able to go over there and figure out what we really like against this team. Try to limit some of the things that they do well and really just attack them.
This throw that Baker makes, I don't know if he's out of the pocket, kind of sidearm to you. Mm-hmm. There can't be more than a hand difference between you and the defender. Mm-hmm. You probably remember the throw. Are you ever No, I'm covered, or just, no, he just trusts me. If he throws it, we're gonna make this work. Like, the trust there is just incredible, that he feels like if I put it on him, he's gonna come up with the ball.
I think it's more of the latter. Like, when I'm out there, I really do trust that, like, if he's throwing me the ball, that, like, that he believes that we're gonna, like, complete this, you know? And it's my job to make sure, like, that it happens. So I try to just, like, lock in on the ball, like, wherever it's coming, like, because, like, when I look at like the film after the fact, it's always like, oh, that was way closer than I thought it was. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh man, like, I probably could have scored on this, and then I look out, there's like 4 guys around me. It's like, there's no way you're gonna score here. But yeah, it's just, you know, the trust that we've built and will continue to build. We just, you know, it's just like you're not complacent about anything, because like it's so hard to win in this league, and it's so hard to be effective as an offense, like, consistently. Defenses have gotten so good and, like, so much better and so smart. And, like, I mean, I think that's kind of like the trend around the league. Like, there's not as many touchdowns being scored. It kind of feels like a shift that's kind of happening. So you have to really, really be good and just capitalize on the big plays that you actually make, because it's so challenging.
Chris, you guys had a lot of the same last year when David Moore was here, but you lose Jalen on Friday, you lose Palmer to a concussion in game. To have a guy like Sterling Shepard, who's a practice squad elevation, that can play 50 snaps pretty much out of the blue and make the catches and the plays he did, how much does that help you guys as a group?
Man, it was very, very huge for us. And I know I've been saying it over the course of training camp and the beginning portion of the season, as other guys have as well, but we really have like a full receiver room of guys that we feel like can really like come in and make plays for us. And that's like a testament to those guys, man, because they work their tails off just like the rest of us. And to like for Shep to be able to step in, you know, like when his number is called and then go and make plays, like that's pretty damn sick. And it was cool being in the huddle with him too, because like he was like so filled with energy, and I'm like, he was amped up, man. Like, and you could tell like he really loves this game. So it was really cool to get to see him go out there and play. And again, like you said, he got elevated. So like normally when guys get elevated, it's, you know, max 20 snaps. He's playing 50 plus snaps. Like that's insane. So really, really proud of our group of guys, because we were really bad. It was hot, man. It was a heater. But it was a lot of fun, and it's always good to see those guys get the ball.
Your second year with Baker, what has matured? What is different this year? Obviously better.
Yeah, I think just like his comfort level. Like, you know, last year, like the first year in the system, obviously is tough just as a whole, right? And yes, like this is our first year in this offensive system, but it's his second year with this group of guys, and I think the camaraderie that we built last year really helped. I think the adversity that we faced and like we all like stuck together, I think really helps this year. And I just think it's like a natural, like, you know, maturation process. Just like for him, like as a player, I think it helps having guys around you that care about you and that really have your back. And I think that he can really feel that. Like, I'm sure he said, you know, a couple of times, like he's really happy here, and like that's because of like the locker room that we have. Like we have like a lot of great guys on this team that like we care about each other, and like we want to work hard, we want to win, and we have each other's back. So I'm sure like that's probably like one of the bigger factors in his success, just being able to go out and be himself, to play free. Surely helps the rest of us.
To Atlanta.
Last question, please.
And then New Orleans after that. So big, significant stretch here for the team. I'm sure it's pretty daunting to go on the road like that, but how exciting is it knowing that if you do end up winning these games, this is a huge opportunity to check the head of the emphasis out?
I mean, it's definitely a huge opportunity for us. But you know, we can only take it one game at a time, right? Like if we for sure cannot be looking past anybody, let alone, you know, our one of our divisional rivals that they had present a really, really tough challenge for us. So it's going to be a big game for us, especially on a short week. We got to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's in the film room, like in our game plan, be able to go in there into a hostile environment. Like I'm sure their stadium will be rocking. It's going to be a tough challenge for us, but I think we're up to the task.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Did you have one more?
Well, you basically answered it, but I was just going to ask about the importance of it. It's not a garden variety Thursday game.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're playing your first divisional game
Yeah.
there, too. And you had a good first quarter, but haven't seen a divisional opponent yet.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's going to be tough, man. And yeah, we had a good start to the season, the first quarter of the season, but first divisional game and in a hostile environment is going to be very, very tough. And it's going to be important for us to really get off to a hot start and just be ready for a fight the entire game. Like, it's all of our divisional games are always like toughly fought. You see, like they were just in one last week, so we got to be able to step in there and be ready to fight for 4 quarters. Make sure that we come away with a victory. Appreciate you guys.